now, the Tajon
Yeah.
Thomas, you know him?
Yep. I
He
heard about that. Yeah.
he's a freaking dude. He's 6'3", 225 and can run. I
That's
mean, run. He pretty much won the game against us. I mean, he made every tackle. He killed us. That's when Yulee was good at the first of the year when they hadn't lost anything and nothing went down and that their defense was playing good. I mean, they almost beat Hawthorne.
Well, there you go. So welcome everyone to the FGA report. I am Brian Smith, and this is Coach Armstrong, West Nassau High School, just on the edge of Georgia, just north of the airport in Jacksonville. We just been talking some football, and I just decided to start rolling. Coach, it's a little bit different where you're at. It's so weird because there's like an invisible line. Like you and I were talking about it for the show. Either you're in Jacksonville or you are not.
Yeah.
And the kids transfer back and forth. It's a totally different lifestyle. You go 15 minutes south of like where your house is at there in that area or the high school, and you're in a totally different world.
Right.
What's it like coaching 4A football in the state of Florida, but you're not in a metro? What's the difference in your opinion?
Yeah. Like we was talking earlier that these kids that come in, you kind of have to develop them. They're not I every now and then I'll have a kid come in as in the 9th or 10th that can play varsity, but most of them are smaller kids, and and they just hadn't been playing a long time. They were just playing the Pop Warner out here and stuff, but you just got to develop them. Try to get them going. Try to get them. Sorry.
It's all good. Sometimes there's a lot of players at a school in one grade, and you get lucky in a grade, and you go through. That happens at every school.
Yeah, especially here in public school. I think in Jacksonville, a lot of them. There's a lot that kind of go to the same schools.
Oh, that's 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
And some
they know each other.
Some of the schools is bad, and the ones with the athletes are good. So, but out here, you got to deal with what you deal with. You got some good years, and then you got some years that you don't have a whole lot of athletes. That they'll come in stages. So,
well, I mean, I'm going to throw some film up here on the screen in a second. You've got one kid, Mr. Whitley, who can absolutely play, and he's a kid, class of 23, can play slot, can play corner. He can do a little bit of everything for you. But other than that, like, how often do you get a kid that, in your opinion, that's at least quote unquote borderline Division I, like generically speaking? Once every 2-3 years?
Yeah, it might be that. And like I say, sometimes they can come 1 or 2 in a class, and sometimes it might be 2 or 3 years before you see one. So, and it's just like that. I've had a couple here and there go that went FCS. I think I got Thorne's going now, and he's going to the Ivy Leagues and one of the Ivy League schools. And I think I had Zorian a couple years ago. He ended up going to Nebraska Kearney, but I think he was right there. He was FCS kid that possibly could have went, but he transferred here his senior year from Jacksonville and had a great year. So it's just trying to get these kids recognized out here. Sometimes it's rough, and I know Twitter does a better job. That's what these kids out here has to learn, that Twitter does a better job for they have to do a better job of putting themselves out there.
100%. Like, here's an example, and this is for any kid. Like, I know Brandon Ennis and Jalen Brown and guys that got 50 offers.
Yeah.
What they do on Twitter is irrelevant.
Yeah.
But if you're a kid that's got just FCS or whatever, and you think that you can play at Pitt or Florida or whatever it is,
yeah,
and you go to your profile and it doesn't have your name, it doesn't list the town, it doesn't list West Nassau. There are kids that I don't know what state they are from when I look at their profile. Yeah. Now, you talk to college coaches all the time.
Yeah.
And we both know they're not very patient people.
No.
It is right now or goodbye.
Yep. That's it.
So, I mean, it takes 15 seconds to set up a Twitter profile to make it look, you put a few little things in later or whatever. Yeah. Start with that. Yeah, but you're right. Some of these kids, You send somebody a message. It could be me. It could be, Steve Wiltfong at 24/7, whatever it is. They need to know who you are immediately.
Right.
So that's the first thing. But with that, I'm going to throw up some film here of one of your guys, and this is fun for me. I like showing film anyway, but this is a kid that is got a lot of speed. And if you hadn't sent me his film, I wouldn't have had any idea.
Yeah.
And a few of these plays, it looks like he's the first one out to practice. He can run.
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about Leon and some of the attributes that you think he has.
He's got excellent on-field presence. Like he reads stuff, but two steps before it happens. So he's seeing things. Now, sometimes that gets you in trouble, but sometimes it's what kids, you make the big plays at. But he sees them. He'll know that he's cutting back before he even cuts back. I think he had 2 or 3 interceptions for touchdown this year. Like I think one play he seen they was running the screen and he was playing free safety and he made the interception from free safety. So he makes some big plays.
Well, his instincts here when the ball is physically in the air is the one. And your quarterback a few times is like, screw it.
Right.
I'm going to throw it up to the best player on the field, and what happens is what happens.
Yeah.
And you know what? It worked. It looks like it worked out pretty well most of the time.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But you guys got him the ball thrown deep, screens, tossing. Any way you could find a way to get the ball in Leon's hands.
Right.
That was goal number 1, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah. He's special when he gets it in his hands. When he's in open field, it's very, very hard to tackle him. Like we'll put him back there on he goes back there for our kickoff, or he's the one receiver back there on the kick return when we kick the ball off to him, and we was very good on kickoff this year, and I think that was because of him. So he'll be back there trying to make moves on us, and when he's in open field, it's rough to tackle him.
Well, that's chasing the jackrabbit in an open field.
Yeah.
That's not a very fun time, but.
No.
That catch, like right there, that catch, you just caught it for the heck of it behind him. I mean, that you don't teach anybody or tell anybody to do that, but he's just, it's his hand-eye coordination is a little different. He's got incredible ability. What position do you think Leon best projects to at the collegiate level?
I don't know. I mean, he could play slot receiver. I don't think he's an outside receiver. I think he could play slot receiver where somebody you get the ball in their hands all the time. And he could play, if he puts on a little bit of weight, he could play free safety because his defensive film, he comes downfield and he will hit you.
Oh, really? Good.
Yeah. Did you get his defensive film?
I don't think I've seen the defensive clips yet, but I mean, the way he runs, I knew he could play in the secondary.
Yeah. He played corner and free safety for us, and I think he played 8 games this year because he didn't play 2 games because I think he was sick, we'll say. But
fair.
He had 5 or 6 interceptions, and 3 of them got taken back for touchdowns.
That is a great statistic, my friend.
Yeah.
That is a great statistic.
That's just him in open field. When he gets the ball in open field, it's very, very tough to tackle him. And when you got 5 offensive linemen on the field, it is really tough.
Yeah, those guys are not tackling that's not happening. So, well, besides him, what's it like trying to game plan with him? Like, do you guys know teams are going to do what do you try to do to get in the ball against somebody that's got some defensive talent?
Well, this year we had it's going to be tough this year because I know they'll probably game plan for him this year. But last year we had a pretty good another receiver that's probably going. He's probably going to end up at UNC Pembroke playing D2 ball, but he had a great year for us. So we had a couple receivers last year that they couldn't really double a whole lot, but this year I know I'm gonna probably have to game plan a little bit better.
Well, I mean, looking at that right there, that's just ridiculous. But
yeah,
he's really good. Are you in a situation where you think you got some kids around him that can? I mean, they don't have to play college football. I mean, you can have.
Yeah, I think I got some receivers. I had a sophomore last year that's very fast. He's going to be he should do pretty good. and I got another receiver outside that's going to be pretty good. So they can't all out just stop covering and go one-on-one. So I got a couple receivers. The problem is I need to try to get the ball to him. So my quarterback transferred out this year. So I think he went to Jacksonville. So he would have been a senior this year. So I'm going to have to go with a junior that hadn't had a whole bunch of playing time this year. But I mean, he could be good. He's 6'3", 185 pounds. So, but he don't have a whole lot of experience.
That's feast or famine, my friend.
Yeah.
You just find out when the season gets rolling.
That's right.
Well, one last question for you. We were talking before the show, and we neither one of us know exactly when or how it's going to be put into play.
Yeah.
The Metro rule thing, and I haven't even read it. But for those of you out there, they're like, what the heck's Brian talking about? There's a rule that's maybe it's going to get in place where Metro, meaning like Orlando, Jacksonville, Fort Lauderdale, Miami, Tampa, St. Pete, their area in the playoffs, they'll all play each other. I don't know about Tallahassee or Pensacola, but I'd imagine.
I don't think they're in it.
Wow. So like those Tallahassee, that's
yeah.
Like Lincoln.
Yes.
I don't know what, I mean, that's, and then of course like Lakeland, Venice.
I guess they're doing it because most of those counties, or it must not have the population that those other counties have.
Well, I mean, I know that Emmitt Smith and Derek Brooks came from Pensacola. They have football players. You know what I mean? Like it's
yeah, that's right.
It's Georgia today offered a kid from Pensacola that's a 2025 kid.
Yeah.
So I know there's plenty of players there.
I'd like to have a couple kids like that.
When I saw him after the third time I watched him run around at a workout, I said that kid can go wherever he wants.
Yeah.
I mean, it was pretty obvious.
Yeah.
But what's your thoughts on it? Like, do you like it overall for the rule? I mean, just take it from your perspective.
I think it's something new that the teams that isn't competing for state championships will have a chance to possibly compete for a state championship. Like we've been good. I think I've had a couple down years the last couple of years, but we've been good. But it's just talent. Yeah, just talent. I mean, yeah. And when I step on the field, I always look across and I go, dang, I'm going, dang. But everybody that plays us say, golly, I hate playing y'all. Y'all hit pretty hard. Y'all play football. So, but I mean, and we're always in the game. It seems like, I mean, but it's just like, can't get over that hump. Just don't have,
well,
more athletes or something.
In 4A, in the divisions over the last several years have moved around. But just as an example, Venice won 8A state championship this year. And I was down at their program in the spring, and they played against Lakeland in the spring game. And Lakeland's got dudes all over the place. Got a kid assigned to A&M, UCF, and all this blah, blah, blah. And they actually won the game. But what was interesting about it, later in the year, the one game they lost was to Cardinal Gibbons, which was either 4 or 5A.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how like the Catholic and private schools in South Florida, that's just a totally different animal.
Yeah.
They're all recruiting against each other to get kids and stuff. You're not going to compete with them with Vince Lombardi wearing the cap. It don't matter. So I'm glad. In general, I don't like it when everything gets split up. But in high school football in like states like Georgia or Florida, or Alabama, there's about a half dozen schools in Alabama right now that are just smoking. I mean, it's not even close.
Yeah.
And I got a feeling that may happen once Florida does it a couple of years, just my opinion, that it may kind of shift, because if you're a rural school in Alabama, but you're the county school that's real big and you're in the same division as Thompson High School. Yeah, and they got 2 or 3 kids that Alabama's recruiting on their D-line. Yeah, are you going to beat them? No. You have no chance. I mean, I was at the Alabama 7A state championship, and Thompson's really good, but they played Phoenix City Central, who's got a half dozen Division I players on the roster, and they just beat the bejesus out of them.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's kind of what's going on in Florida too. So again, I like the rule, but let STA go play Apopka or something like that. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's athlete on that. Because they got the numbers.
Right.
So, I'm good with that. But well, Coach, I'm going to wrap it up. It's good to have you on the show. I appreciate it. You got a heck of a football player in Leon Whitley. For coaches out there, it's you're at West Nassau. It's ironic. You're actually closer to the Jacksonville airport than a lot of the high schools that are in Jacksonville. Just getting around Jacksonville is not real friendly sometimes. Right. So it's not that hard.
Us and Yulee, we're the closest. I think we're the closest to the airport.
That's hilarious.
Yep.
That's so funny. Like TC and some of them probably aren't much different, but I mean, everybody goes there anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's funny. But anyway, Coach, stay on here real quick. But everybody make sure you like and subscribe, hit that button. I will have some more shows coming up with several different kids and coaches around the state of Florida, Alabama, and Georgia. Everybody be good. I thank you very much.